Yeah, my story. So what I want to tell you, the interesting part of my story is that you can dream and you can make your dreams come true. That's what I did. When I was really young, I always wanted to train dogs. Eventually, I had the opportunity to get a dog. My parents weren't letting me have a dog, which was kind of not a good thing for me. I used to take dogs from the street all the time, and every morning they will be gone. My mom will be, well, they just wanted to go out, and you know the story.
Everybody. Thank you for everybody who is here. I will give a couple seconds to let people kind of trickle into the meeting. There's already a good amount of people here, so definitely excited to kind of give you guys an idea of what the Training Without Conflict certification program involves. So, Training Without Conflict certification program, the next evolution of dog training. The story so far, in 2020, we held the first Training Without Conflict certification program that was held here in Plant City, Florida. We actually have a few people in the attendee list that I can see that actually attended this first class, which is super cool, and just goes to show you that all the people that have gone through the course just keep wanting to learn more. Even if it's just a Q&A call, they're just here to learn more and understand what we're talking about with Training Without Conflict. Since that first class, we've had over 300 students enroll in the program. There's currently 90 TWC certified trainers worldwide. We're currently enrolling for the 15th Training Without Conflict certification program class, and we are excited to get that started on September 4th. Worldwide, we have Training Without Conflict certified trainers in 9 different countries, and that's going to continue to grow as more trainers continue completing their exam process as their certification goes along. We have Training Without Conflict certification students on 6 different continents. That is likely the most continents that we will be able to have, because we just don't think there's going to be a dog training industry in Antarctica anytime soon. So what you're going to learn during this call today: why now is the perfect time to enroll in the Training Without Conflict certification program? What makes Training Without Conflict superior to other programs? What you will learn in the Training Without Conflict certification program, the difference between the practitioner and professional programs, the benefits of being in the Training Without Conflict training community, how to enroll in the Training Without Conflict certification program. So, what is TWC? Training Without Conflict is a community of dog trainers that utilize the concepts created by 2-time IGP world champion Ivan Balabanov. The Training Without Conflict methodology is rooted in the science of animal learning and evolutionary psychology to create unbelievable training results. Training Without Conflict trainers operate with the belief that dogs are our fellow creature and not opportunistic animals that are just transacting for rewards. Dogs are our best friends. That is commonly stated by a lot of dog trainers, but not practiced very often. With TWC, this is the foundation of everything we do. Play. Training Without Conflict prioritizes play as the most powerful motivator in training. As you guys have probably seen in a lot of videos or reels or any of the content that we've created, Ivan typically will say, when all basic needs are met, all animals will choose play. So I know you guys are here to hear and learn from Ivan, so I will go ahead and turn it over to him, and he will kind of give you an idea of how he got from his beginnings to being the teacher that he is today. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to him, and I will stop sharing my screen so you guys can see Ivan. Make sure you unmute yourself,
All
Ivan.
right, everybody. Thank you for joining again. And Yeah, my story. So what I want to tell you, the interesting part of my story is that you can dream and you can make your dreams come true. That's what I did. When I was really young, I always wanted to train dogs. Eventually, I had the opportunity to get a dog. My parents weren't letting me have a dog, which was kind of not a good thing for me. I used to take dogs from the street all the time, and every morning they will be gone. My mom will be, well, they just wanted to go out, and you know the story. So I really ended up as a young kid spending a lot of time with the street dogs, with the homeless dogs in Sofia. That's where I'm from. I'm from Bulgaria, communist country, which at the time, it was, we're talking early 80s, and the world was divided on Eastern Europe and Western Europe. There was the Berlin Wall. So we didn't really know much about what happens in the West. And people in the West didn't know what we do on the east side of the world. There was no internet, so learning was not the way it can be done today. As I was growing up, eventually I was able to stand up my ground. I got a dog of my own. It was from like the search and rescue mountain dogs in Bulgaria. It was a collie. And I started to do a lot of training. I won a lot of championships. And eventually, I decided that I need to do something more. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to get better. And I didn't know exactly what I need to do. Again, it was time when there was no internet. It wasn't like you just Google something and ChatGPT. But decided that I'm gonna go to the other side of the world, to the Western side. And again, that was a very hardcore communist country at the time, my country. So what that meant was a huge risk, like a huge risk, meaning I was to get caught. I most likely would not know what will happen. Nobody will ever hear from me again. And yeah, it was a pretty scary, pretty terrifying actually thing to do, but it didn't stop me. I had a dream, I had a goal, and I was ready to take the step. So I decided that I will go to Belgium. My escape story is a fantastic story, but that's something for another conversation. Once I got to Belgium, I did not know people. I had no friends. I had no money. Like the money that I had from Bulgaria was like a joke, basically. My English, not so good, just listening to some song here and there. And yeah, I wanted to get out, escape. And so I got some classes going, but definitely there was a lot of struggle. But the passion for dogs, that's how you make friends. At least that's how I made friends. Started to look for dog clubs, and Belgium is, at least at that time, was that kind of country that even the smallest village would have 2 or 3 different dog clubs. You would have people that do Belgian ring, people that do Schutzhund and hunting and so on. So that's how I got my first Malinois. That's how I got into the dog sports, like in that level. Prior to that, in Bulgaria, there was some Russian military kind of competitions, and I ended up winning almost everything with a female colleague. So training wasn't that good at the time. Then, yeah, it was, I had to, of course, find some job, because doing dogs, nobody knowing me learning, it was just not an option. I had to make some living. And so I ended up working as an electrician for a few years in Belgium, as I was still training daily. It was a very, very exciting time for me. So I didn't really care what I'm gonna work, how much money I'm gonna get, as long as I can go and play with my dogs and do training. That's really all it mattered to me. At some point, like I think it was about 5 years that I stayed in Belgium, in the Flemish part. And eventually, some of my friends were thinking to move somewhere else. And I was like, okay, yeah, maybe we'll try something different. And still no internet. So the way you explore and find out where you want to go and where you want to live, it was by going to either a library or a bookstore and getting tourist books and reading about different countries. So it was Australia and South Africa, Canada, and the States. Those were my choices. I wanted to do something kind of different and interesting and go far out from Europe. South Africa didn't work simply because it was the time that there was just a lot of unrest. That was when Mandela was still in jail, and it was just not a good time. Australia fell through almost instantly. The moment I realized that at that time there was like 9 months quarantine for dogs. So going back and forth to Europe for competition, that was just impossible at that time. So that's how I ended up coming to the States. And once again, not knowing nobody, I was ready to go work at McDonald's, whatever I needed to do. I knew that it will be temporary. I knew that I'm gonna make it happen for myself. And you know, now I kind of already started to gain some experience of moving from country to country and how to make things better for myself. As I was looking for a job as an electrician again, I moved to San Francisco. It was between LA, San Diego, and San Francisco. It was for sure California, because in Europe, that's what you hear about. You hardly hear about any other states at the time. And somehow San Francisco just sounded the best to me. There was no other reason to go to San Francisco, but that's how I ended up there. And as I was looking for jobs, I realized that, and that was, I don't know, like 1991 or something like that. But it was kind of hard times in the country. There was some recession going on, and I was clueless to that. So as I'm looking for a job and I'm not succeeding, and looking at newspapers and just going up and down the whole city and outside the city, I finally saw people with guide dogs. And I didn't know if they are actual really visually impaired people or they were trainers. And I followed two of them, and they ended up going to one of the vans, and I saw that it's a school. So I followed them and I found the school. I asked to get a job there. The training director at the time was like, we don't hire, you need to get so much experience. You can put an application, but we have so many applications. But I don't know, somehow I kind of captured his attention. It was interesting for him. And I remember him talking about like, well, we cannot take you in, we cannot hire you right now, that's for sure. Like there is no, like absolutely, I cannot give you any hope on that, but you know, give your application, fill out. And by the way, what style of training, like what books have you read? What is like your background? Have you heard of this so and so? And so he gives me some, I mean, he gives me Bill Collar and, you know, just American well-known trainers. And I'm like, no, I don't know these people. It's like, and now because I didn't know them, I really captured his attention. It was like, well, so what do you do? What do you train? I'm like, well, I train Belgian ring, I train Schutzhund, have Malinois. And I guess he was a little bit familiar with the sport. So he asked a few questions. And that's how we ended. 3 days later, he calls me. I guess he was very curious. He's like, okay, come over. I want to test and see you. So I go there, they give me some dog and I do some training. And next thing you know, more questions. It's like, okay, well, we cannot become an instructor just like that. You have to go through apprenticeship, but before even apprenticeship, you have to be a kennel attendant and clean kennels and whatever. I was like, I'm fine with anything. Like, I just want to be at that place because I knew that I will move on very quickly. You know, I always had that confidence, and it's kind of combination though. It's confidence and taking a risk. But when I take a risk, I kind of go all in. And I really give it all to the point that I know that if I don't succeed, I know that I have exhausted all options. So I went there, he saw what I do. It was different from what they were training. He liked it. I got the job. It was a very important moment because, you know, I basically became a professional dog trainer. I started to get paid for training dogs. That was 1991. That was a time where, you know, to be making money of training dogs, it was very few people that could do that. And so, yeah, the stars kept aligning for me. But I also had that persistence, I had that confidence, and I was not afraid to take a chance. That's kind of how I even won competitions, you know, like all this, you know, sometimes people win one championship, and I don't know any of you if you've ever competed and tried to win a championship or possibly have won once or twice, you know what it takes. But for those of you that don't, it's a super challenging thing, and you have to sacrifice quite a bit, and you have to still make sure that the rest of your life keeps working out. But I won by now probably 15 national championships and 2 world championships, simply because I believe that I can, and I made it as a goal, and I was willing to take chance, and I was willing to explore options and learn and work hard, and was never really afraid of like where the money go and how much money I make, as long as I was able to make things working out for me. So quickly from there on, I became an apprentice, then eventually got my instructor license. I worked as a guide dog instructor for a few years. I made some suggestions at the time to change their training. And they were like, we cannot do that. This is not possible. This is how we do things here. And years later, I mean, years like 10, 15, 20 years, even now, I get messages from some of the instructors. She was just so ahead of the time, like, I wish we would listen to you and whatever, but we're doing much better now. The school's improved. I haven't really been there to check out things. Then I worked at the SPCA in San Francisco. I was an animal behaviorist, which meant evaluations, a lot of evaluations, basically deciding which dogs we should give the possibility to rehabilitate and which dogs we would not be able to. It was a hard job because you pretty much kind of say you can stay and you cannot. It was still, at least on the West Coast at that time, it was crazy time because there was still a lot of fighting rings, like pit bull, like, you know. And so we used to get and bust the rings with the police and the animal care, and then get some of the dogs that we think that we can do something with, and their puppies and the moms. And it was a very interesting part of my experience as a dog trainer, for sure. Every single bit, from me playing relentlessly hour after hour on the streets with the homeless dogs, to doing these Russian military competitions, to Belgium, doing ring sport and Schutzhund, to guide dogs, ASPCA, and helping homeless dog and shelter dogs. Eventually, in the midst of all of that, I had to still train my dogs because that was my passion, was to compete. And the passion to compete was to basically test my skills against everybody else. I really didn't have, I don't have a mentor, so to speak. And it's not that I didn't want to, but every time I would go to learn from somebody, pretty much in an instant, I was like, I can do this 5 times better than you. And it's not like a brag, but it just, for whatever reason, dog training, I have that gift. Like I feel, you know, like if don't know even how to explain it. It comes without an effort. I do study, I do take a lot of time to basically explain to myself what I do and why it works, and then be able to teach everybody that comes to my school. But there is some, whatever, God's power or natural, whatever you want to call it. I feel extremely grateful for having that gift, that I look at dogs and dog training in a way that very few people do. So what happened after competition and after getting all that experience, now I got all of a sudden flooded by people being very interested in what I do and how I do. So I ended up going all over the country, giving seminars like every weekend. I ended up going all over Europe, like going to Europe, American, to give seminars in the 90s to the Germans and the Belgians. That was unheard of. I pretty much have been, like, I probably can have easier for me to say, name the country that I have not been to, that I have not given seminars, than the other way around at this point. And so that got pretty intense, and I was enjoying going places, but eventually being gone every week or every other week, or going to Asia or Latin America or whatever it is, and maintaining my goals to train and compete and chasing that dream to win a world championship, that was just not possible. And so that's kind of how I left the SPCA, and I started my own training business. I started to teach people on the side, to the point that ultimately I like, actually a funny story, and I don't want to keep it too long because we have a lot of conversations and a lot of questions that you have, but there was a time where maybe we're gonna leave that for another time, but because we're really gonna get very busy, and as you can tell, my story is it's a long one and it's an interesting one, but this is not what that call is about only. Eventually I decided that I'm a good teacher. I wasn't in the beginning, because I thought that, like I had a super special gift, as I'm telling you, understanding dogs, psychology, learning, cognition, like that just comes intuitively to me. But teaching somebody else was not easy. And in fact, in the 90s, I would make people upset. People would walk out crying. And I was very demanding, and I wanted them to be as good as me today, like after that lesson. So it took me a long time to learn, but once I learned, I started to get a lot of appreciation about teaching. And that's where we are today. I am like absolutely enjoying what I do. Like the school that we have is something I always look forward to. I look forward to every Zoom call. Every time I'm training, even my own dogs, I'm thinking about you as my students and what I'm going to bring next to you for the class. And but again, thank you for listening to all of that. Let me have Eric back on, and let's get things going.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. I actually have not heard that extended version of Ivan's story, so it's actually even interesting for me to hear a lot of that stuff. So definitely a lot of times spent in the TWC certification trainer weekends that we'll talk about, where Ivan explains a lot of this stuff in his past and thinks of a lot of cool stories that have happened in his past. So that's another thing to look forward to if you guys decide to join us for the course. But let's get back into the information about the course. So thank you, Ivan, for sharing his story. So why certification? Dog training is a highly competitive industry, as you guys probably know. Americans spend over $50 billion a year on their pets. 33% of the world's population has a dog as a pet. 44% of American households have a dog as a pet. 1.6 million dogs every year are adopted in the United States. Most importantly, the industry has proven to be recession-proof. If anybody was training dogs during COVID, you guys saw that dog training not only stayed alive, but thrived during that time, because people seem to look to dogs to kind of take their mind off of life's troubles. So the industry has proven to be recession-proof. What does that mean? That means that the sharks are circling, and people who are looking for money are looking to dog training as a means to get that money. So I want to just talk briefly about a red ocean industry and a blue ocean industry. A blue ocean industry is clean waters filled with people that want to learn from you. And a red ocean industry is a industry where it has been fished by a lot of people. It's bloody because a lot of the fish are gone, and it's getting harder and harder to find clients. A lot of trainers find themselves in the red ocean industry because there are so many sharks circling in the water looking to take advantage of trainers. Now, that brings me back to why certification. When you are certified through TWC and have the information that's available, you are able to become an industry expert. That means that you are infinitely able to create your own blue ocean. So you are always able to find clean waters for you to operate in because you have information, you have a better way to communicate, and you are able to find clients no matter what. People around the world are seeking for expert help. So again, why TWC certification? Training without conflict is the cheat code to becoming an expert. The information that you guys learn in the course is not available anywhere else. It's not available to other trainers. It's not in any books. It's information that's been collected through Ivan's history in training. As you guys listen to his story, you understand that he has a depth of knowledge that is unparalleled by other trainers. He's a 2-time IGP world champion, 15-time IGP national champion, 40 plus years of experience in training dogs, 40 plus years of breeding Belgian Malinois, which means he's had experience with countless puppies. Former guide dog trainer at Guide Dogs for the Blind, former training director at the San Francisco ASPCA, which is the first no-kill shelter in the United States. Training without conflict is not another tool in your toolbox. It's a very, very common saying amongst trainers that they go to seminars and they're seeking another tool in their toolbox. Training without conflict is not that. Training without conflict is the only dog training methodology that's founded on the proven principles of behavioral psychology. Training without conflict is a radically different approach to training dogs. If you guys look at these photos and you watch any of our training videos or any content that we produce or have ever been able to see Ivan compete live, there is something special about the dogs that we're able to train. They're happy, they're motivated, there's love, there is just a feeling, not even just from the trainer and the dog, but even the people who watch. Like, you can't help but smile when you watch a training without conflict trainer train a dog. Why TWC certification? You owe it to your dog. We are happy to guarantee that your dog will absolutely love training in the training without conflict training methods. By using play, training without conflict trainers are able to tap into your dog's genetic gift and create results by controlling and guiding their natural abilities. You owe it to your clients. If you're a professional dog trainer, you want to be able to provide your clients with the absolute best information out there. Your clients expect high-level, lasting results that they can understand. And I'll get into more as to why this is so important in a second. You will crush the competition. As I was talking before with the blue ocean and red ocean, the competition is always looking to outdo one another. If you have information that other people do not, and you are able to create better and more lasting results, you will crush the competition. The dog trainer that can achieve the best and most lasting results while maintaining the motivation and happiness of a dog, and this is a super important communicate how those results were achieved, wins every time. Clients will continue to come back to you because they know that you can do what they're looking for and you can communicate them how that happened. Lastly, you owe it to yourself. As you guys heard, Ivan, everything that has come in training without conflict and in his life started with a dream. And I assume that everyone that is on this call has a certain dream, not only with just your personal dogs, but also if you are looking to become a professional dog trainer or you are a professional dog trainer, you have a dream of what you want your life to look like. Real quick, I want to get into some testimonials from some of the people that have taken the program. So here's Amir. He says, I made my way through module 10. I spent most of the time on 2 lessons on progression. Wow. Just wow, Ivan. These 2 lessons were the most intense and the most important lessons from any live seminar or any pre-recorded dog training lesson from any dog trainer I have ever taken. For me, these 2 lessons alone are well worth the price of admission to this course. I will forever be grateful for Ivan's willingness to share this knowledge with us. I'm just a dog owner. I just goof around with my dogs. But if I were a professional dog trainer like some of you guys, I would feel privileged to be among such a small group of trainers with this knowledge and would feel I have a huge competitive advantage over other trainers thanks to Ivan, a competitive advantage I would protect. Here's a message from Vivian. Hi, everyone. I'm Vivian from Singapore. I have a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a Master of Arts in Neuroscience. I've taught learning and behavior lab in a university in Texas and animal behavior and communication in a Singapore Polytechnic. Although we've only done 4 modules so far, I must say this course resonates with me tremendously. I love the strong emphasis on relationship with the dog. I've been to many courses and seminars with many trainers. However, the deep appreciation and understanding of psychology that Ivan has is incredible and unique. Ivan's ideas are at the forefront of dog training. As a former academic, I can say that science has not even caught up to many of the ideas that are discussed here. I'm thankful for this opportunity to be in this course. Chris, truth, catapult your skills to levels way beyond typical dog training. Ivan's course is like no other and his support is incredible. This course has been the very best investment I've ever made in my dog training career. Get ready to have the best relationship possible with your dogs and be able to share that gift with your clients as well. Thank you, Ivan and family. Truly proud to be part of this revolution in dog training. If you're thinking about doing this, think no more. This course is being offered at a steal of a deal, and you will return your investment over and over again. Darlene, Ivan is by far the best dog trainer in the world. I've taken the training, and my dog training business is taking off. Everything in this video is true. Well worth the investment in yourself. Proof: 80% of training without conflict trainers have more business than they can handle. And this information was provided to us from an internal TWC certified trainer survey. So, what is the TWC certification program? There are 2 paths to choose from. The professional certification program, which is for professional dog trainers with an existing business, and the practitioner certification for dog owners without a dog training business. To put it simply, if you have an existing dog training business, you are eligible for the professional certification program. If you are an enthusiastic dog owner, or if you are an enthusiastic dog owner that is seeking to eventually become a professional trainer, the practitioner certification would be for you. Both levels enjoy Ivan's comprehensive science-based training system that will forever change how you interact with dogs. 24/7 access to mind-blowing modules where you will learn the training without conflict methodology through the TWC Academy. 18 modules. You guys, I'll give you a second to look through this. I can even read them. Module 1, Psychology, Foundation for Modern Training. 2, the acquisition of knowledge. 3, dog training, an evolving art. 4, the environment and learning dynamics. 6, 2 approaches to training. 2 main approaches to training. 6, play, an innate brain system as a motivator. 7, clear communication, signals, and markers. 8, expanding the potential of positive reinforcement. 9, the science of escape and avoidance learning. 10, the advantage of using aversives in punishment. 11, negative punishment demystified. 12, dog welfare and training choices. 13, electric impulse, pros, cons, and proper use. 14, training tools and equipment, smart choices. 15, defining a behavior as problematic. 16, dog sports, an overview. 17, working and service dogs, an overview. 18, a practical look at the TWC training system. To put it shortly, there is no stone left unturned in the course. Absolutely every single piece of dog training information you could possibly want is available in the course. Many people, when they first sign up or when they're thinking to sign up, ask questions about whether a certain subject is covered, and I've yet to be able to have to say no. This course is so comprehensive, and there is absolutely zero that is left out. This is every single piece of information that Ivan has collected over his 40 years of dog training. Both levels continue to enjoy access to a private Facebook group where you can discuss questions and cases with TWC students. When you first start out, it starts with a private class group. Once you complete your class, you are then added to the TWC graduates group where you are able to interact with all students that have taken the course in the past. You also have access to 4 private class Q&A calls with Ivan via Zoom. These Q&A calls sometimes last 4+ hours. Literally last night, not even 12 hours ago, we were on a Zoom call for 4.5 hours. We started it at 4 p.m. and we ended it at 8:30 p.m. He gives absolutely everything in these calls, and he answers every single question that he is able to answer during these calls. There is no piece that he leaves out. Every single little detail that you are looking for is explained until you absolutely understand. And it's a question that is asked at the end of every question as to whether someone understands what has been explained. And that's why they last so long, because we want to make sure that TWC certification and TWC trainers are the best and most knowledgeable trainers in the industry. Both levels also enjoy early access to TWC workshops. So anytime that you see TWC is putting on a workshop, whether it's local or whether it's around the country or whether it's worldwide, the first people to hear about it are TWC certified trainers and TWC practitioners and TWC professionals that are currently enrolled in the course. So you would have early access to be able to enroll in those workshops. Professional trainers enjoy. And this is the one big difference between the practitioner and professional program. Professional trainers enjoy the opportunity to attend the TWC Trainer Weekend to take their final exam. That is a 3-day weekend that we have here in Plant City, Florida. You show up on Friday. We do a lot of learning, a lot of lectures. There's practical implementation of a lot of the concepts that people learn in the course. People are able to get hands-on with dog training. Each weekend is different. There has yet to be, we've done 15 of them, and there has not been one single weekend that has been the same as another. Every single weekend brings a new challenge or a new opportunity to learn, and trainers are able to enjoy the opportunity to attend these trainer weekends with their, to take their final exam. TWC certified trainers enjoy the use of the training without conflict methods for use with their clients. Promotion and listing on the Training Without Conflict Certified Trainer Directory. If you guys have checked our website, or if you haven't, I definitely recommend you guys go to our website, click on the drop-down menu, and you can look at the Find a Trainer tab, and you will be able to see all of the TWC certified trainers that have provided their information to be on the trainer directory. If you were to take the professional course and graduate, you would also be listed on this TWC certified trainer directory. The last time I had a long conversation with one of the TWC certified trainers, they were so thankful for the TWC certified trainer directory because it gave them not only the promotion that they were looking for as a business owner, but the big piece that they explained to me is they are no longer seeking customers or taking customers that they may not necessarily want to work with. They are getting customers coming to them that want to learn things that they learn, that they have heard about, or that they know that this trainer knows because they are a Training Without Conflict certified trainer, which means that you are able to work exclusively with clients that you want to work with. You are no longer in the position of having to take business just for the sake of hoping to make money. They also get access to the TWC Q&A archive. So every single Q&A that every single group has ever had in the history of the program is in the TWC Q&A archive. and they're all there for everybody to listen to. So there's no end for the TWC certified trainers in information that gets presented to them. So once this group that we just finished the last Q&A call last night, it was 4.5 hours. I will collect those 4 Q&As from this class and I'll add them into the Q&A archive, and every single certified trainer will have the opportunity to watch those at any time. They're available 24/7 in the TWC Academy for them. TWC certified trainers all get continued monthly Zoom calls to discuss ongoing cases. So these Zoom calls are super cool because if you have problems with your own personal clients, or if Ivan has a case that he's currently working on, these calls give us time to talk about that stuff as a group. So a lot of you guys have seen the stories about Tina and the videos about Tina. These groups are where we talk about those cases. Last call, he discussed at length on what his protocol was to be able to get the results he got with Tina. In the future, we hope to produce a video to give that information to everyone, but just know that TWC certified trainers have calls every single month to be able to discuss cases like this or any cases they're personally dealing with. They also get the opportunity to attend the annual trainer summit. So every single year, every TWC certified trainer is invited back to Plant City for 3 days to learn, once again, any information that Ivan has collected over the previous year, but also just to enjoy the community, enjoy being around fellow trainers, have conversations. I don't want to go too deep into this. I'm actually going to turn it over to Natalia, and she's just going to give you an idea of what the experience of the TWC annual trainer summits are like.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. Very nice seeing so many people. Before I'm going to say about the yearly meeting, I just want to say something, from my perspective. I mean, I've been watching this man closely training for over a decade, and who I've never seen. I mean, TWC, it's obviously his 4 years of experience packed in that course, and he's giving you everything, his experience, he learned. And I mean, I've seen a lot, moving here to the States, I've seen a lot of trainers, top level trainers back in Europe, and training with some of them very closely. And I've never in my life felt like, okay, I felt there's always something more, and I've been searching. And this is when I heard about Ivan, and I started watching his stuff and go deep into his training. And this was absolutely, for me, a turning point. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have never, back then, this was so long time ago, back then, I'm like, I have never, ever heard anybody talking, interacting, and doing with dogs and the way he does. I mean, it absolutely blew me away. And then, of course, I mean, you know the story. I mean, we've been married for a long time, and then I watch him. I mean, it was, I watch him every day, and still, after so many years, imagine that I listen to him, and there are things that I feel like I've never, ever heard before. I promise you, he became a teacher that you just want to sit there and listen, and it's like almost mesmerizing. And that trainer summit, one more thing, like, so, like, before that, I feel like, I mean, a lot of dog people can be very divided. And before the TWC, like, that's a lot of the times, like, how I felt, like, nobody really is supporting you, everybody's doing their own thing, and everybody's something. And then the TWC, and watching his students, I mean, I absolutely adore his students. I mean, the way the whole community works, and they're supportive, I mean, helping each other. The training summit that we have every year in December, it's a very nice weather in Florida, by the way. So we have 3 days of, you know, certified trainers comes here, and I mean, it's been experienced. That last year I said, I mean, like, it's so nice to see finally a dog people to come together and brainstorm and enjoy and being supportive. And I mean, it's such a friendly environment, and you know, we get on the cases, we talk. I mean, obviously 3 days of packed with talking dogs and different cases, and we all brainstorm and we train and we have fun. I mean, I have never, I mean, been in dog world for 18 years, starting back in Europe, I have never ever seen such an environment where you can really open, you feel welcome, you can say, one more thing, it's like we all speak the same language. That's absolutely beautiful. Like we all, just because of the TWC experience and all the knowledge, it's, you know, as Eric said, it's not just another tool to put in your toolbox. This course teaching you how to train dogs. It's not a sport dog, it's not a pet, it's not a, I mean, it's service dog. It's how you train dogs. So you can approach, I mean, you see, like we compete, we have personal protection dogs, we have pet business, so it's really, and you're never gonna get burned out because you're really looking at the dog from a different perspective. And yeah, I mean, staying in touch with his students and having those Zoom calls, and I mean, with a lot of them, like, we became very, you know, close friends. It's just very, very friendly environment. And I'm looking forward, definitely. I mean, every year looking forward to this event in December when they come, and we have just fun training. So I hope you guys join us. And okay, I'm gonna stop.
All right,
Eric?
thank you. Thank you, Natalia. I will go ahead and get back into the presentation, but yeah, I'll just reiterate what she said. It's a super, super special opportunity to come to that annual trainer summit, because we do all hang out as a group, as a community. Everyone is supportive. We all speak the same language, so the conversations are so productive. I'm sure you guys have been either at seminars or at in Facebook groups, and there are multiple people who know 10 different types of ways to train dogs, and there's that common saying that's you know, what's the commonality between dog trainer 1 and dog trainer 2, and it's they're just never going to agree on something. Like, dog trainers are just never going to agree. But the beautiful thing about this trainer summit is everyone speaks the same language, and it's not about following a step-by-step program. Everyone has a general understanding on how to train dogs and how to approach dog training, and the conversations are productive from minute 1. There's no time wasted on arguing on this method is better than that one. Everyone speaks the same language and understands how to communicate that stuff. So with that being said, I'll just get back into the presentation. So, like I said, TWC certified trainers enjoy the opportunity to attend that annual certified trainer summit. And we would love to have you guys join us. TWC trainers, also certified trainers, also enjoy the opportunity for further TWC education programs. Now, this says top secret. It's not like top secret, because we did just tell our certified trainers about what the next level of TWC certified training and certified trainers is. But just know that if you are looking for further education beyond this program, it's going to be available. So, are you ready to join the community? Before we get to the price, I want to ask you one question. What is your dream worth? So you guys, during Ivan's description of his past, said that everything started with a dream. And I want to ask everyone what their dream is worth to them. Professional certification for professional dog trainers with an existing business is $10,000 US. For practitioners, that being the dog owners without a dog training business, dog owners that are enthusiastic about dog training, it is $8,000 US. That is the investment for the TWC certification program. We are currently enrolling for the September 2023 class. That's going to begin on September 4th. How to apply? Step one is to purchase the $97 TWC certification application, which is available at the link below. You can also visit the TWC Academy and purchase it there and fill it out. Step two is filling out and submitting the application. Step three, Ivan and the TWC team will review your application. Step four, I will personally contact you with the next steps. The next steps on certification and how to proceed after your application has been reviewed. So once again, you can get to that certification application by going to www.trainingwithoutconflict.com/certification, or you can just go to the TWC Academy and you can purchase the application there. We pride ourselves on the community. As you guys listen to Natalia talk about the annual trainer summit, the trainer weekends, we pride ourselves on our community and the community that we've built in the 3 short years that we've had this program available. So if you believe that your clients are worth it, that your dogs are worth it, that your dream is worth it, if you believe, we'd love to have you join us for something special. Natalia hit the nail on the head when she said that this is not just another seminar, another workshop. She says that we've been close to every single person that has come through this course. A lot of them have become like family. And that word is super important, not to get like Vin Diesel, Fast and the Furious about it, but people who come here, it's not like you are here for a seminar. It's not like you're here for a workshop and you're just another body that came to learn. Every single person that comes here is invited as a guest, as someone who's coming over to your house for a dinner. Like, we just take so much pride in the community and making sure that every single person that comes here for any event feels special. And we'd absolutely love to have you join us for that. So once again, the investment for the professional certification is $10,000 US. The practitioner certification is $8,000 US. And once again, how to apply: purchase the $97 TWC certification application at www.trainingwithoutconflict.com/certification. Step 2, fill out and submit your application. Step 3, Ivan and the TWC team will review your application. And step 4, I will be in contact with you with the next steps. So with that being said, we'll get into the questions. So I will just go ahead and get to the top of the Q&A here, and we'll get started. For anybody that has questions, in case you weren't here at the beginning of the call and we described how we were going to approach these questions, there is a tab at the bottom of your Zoom screen that says Q&A. Just go ahead and click that, and then you can type any questions that you may have. So I'm going to go ahead and answer any questions that I have, any questions that Ivan is able to answer. I will pass it over to him. And if Natalia wants to chime in on any of this stuff, obviously we would be happy to have her answer any of this stuff. So I'll start with Kevin's question. Do most enrollees fail these certification tests? I see only 90 of the 300 are certified. So 300 students means a collection of students over professional and practitioners. So that's not just professional trainers. So overall, with the TWC certified trainers or professional trainers that enroll the course, about 85% that take all of the opportunities to pass their final exam process are able to become TWC certified trainers. What that means is we provide 3 opportunities for people to take the final exam, the final written exam, which means you have 3 opportunities to attend a trainer weekend here in person. If you're able to pass one of those 3 exams, you are then passed over to the practical portion of the exam process. So when people go through the process of doing the course, taking up to 3 chances at taking their exam, and then complete their practical, 85% of those people become certified trainers. And when someone doesn't complete that process, we provide as much as we can as far as further opportunity for trainers that didn't necessarily become successful on taking that written exam to be able to continue with the course. So I don't want to get too deep on what those opportunities are right now, because I want this to just be about the certification stuff. But just to answer your question, the 300 students are over professional trainers and practitioners, not just professional trainers. But our pass rate is about 85% for trainers who take every opportunity to be able to pass the course. So Ali's question: I've completed the practitioner course and do not have a dog training business, but would like to become a TWC certified trainer. What are the next steps I need to take? And are there time restrictions when those steps need to be completed? So for Ali, if since you've already taken the course, you can kind of email me and I can go a little bit more in depth for you, but I know that this question is going to come up. So if you are a person who is not currently a dog trainer or have an existing dog training business, but want to in the future become a professional dog trainer, the steps that you would take is you would enroll in the practitioner course. That, as we discussed, is the $8,000 US dollar course. And then once that course is completed, we give you the opportunity to start your business and go ahead and get going with everything that is required from starting a business. And once you're ready to take the professional course, it does not require an additional payment of $10,000. There is an upgrade charge for the practitioner course to the professional, but it does not require 2 separate investments of $8,000 or $10,000. So just to answer your question, Ali, shortly, there are steps to take. If you want to email me, I can kind of get more in depth with you since you've already taken the course. But for just to be short with everyone else, the steps that you would take is you would enroll as a practitioner, start your business, then you would be offered the opportunity of the professional certification. And just so everyone kind of understands the reasoning behind why there is a practitioner and a professional course, there are actual government regulations that prevent schools like ours from appearing like a business opportunity. So there are laws that prevent us from claiming that we're going to train you to become a dog trainer and give you the opportunity to start your business. And we have to kind of protect ourselves from that. And so the reason for the 2 programs, that is specifically why. I've only trained my own dogs, but not for others. Can I take the course? I'm a retired lawyer and train in Schutzen with my dog. I think Ivan can probably answer that.
Repeat the question one more time, Eric.
Yeah, I've only trained my own dogs, but not for others. Can I take the course? I'm a retired lawyer and train in Schutzhund with my dogs.
Yeah. What it's a funny thing, because what would you expect me to say? Of course you will enjoy the course, and of course you're gonna you will get better no matter what. Like if you want to get better at dog training, at understanding dogs, living with dogs, I don't think it's a matter of, are you a high level chasing a world championship title? Are you doing search and rescue? Or do you have a husky that you take around the block? I think the course really gives a lot for everybody, just because it helps you understand what dogs are about, what ticks them, how learning, like all the learning theories, like I know some of you already about all these books behind, and that's just half of the stuff that I have. But you absolutely will move to a different place in understanding everything there is to understand about dogs. Like, I promise you that.
Cool. Okay, next question from Shanna. Greetings from Vancouver Island. What percentage of students who enroll successfully complete the course? So as far as practitioners, it's just up to them as to whether they complete it. We do not really take a percentage on how many of the practitioners complete the course, but with the professional trainers, like I said before, 85% of the students that enroll and take all of the opportunities that are made available to them to pass the final exam are able to complete the course and become TWC certified trainers. Is there a payment plan? Unfortunately, there is no payment plan, and that is simply because we did at one point have a payment plan and people took advantage of it, and we're just not set up to be chasing down people for payments and stuff like that. And it just became a job in and of itself in making sure people were on time with payments and stuff like that. And it just became a situation where we weren't unable to deal with it. So at the moment, we do not have payment plans, but we certainly have encouraged people to seek payment plans on their own. A lot of trainers have told me that they've been able to secure like financing for their future. And once again, just to reiterate, for some people, this is an investment, and for I would say every single certified trainer and practitioner, this program has been just, the return on investment has been, I don't even know. We actually did a survey to all our certified trainers, and the amount of times that people told us that they felt the course itself was priceless, that you could not put a price on the information and the benefits that they received from it, was just like, it was just crazy. Like, it's almost funny to say it out loud, because you think it's marketing, but I was looking at the surveys and I'm just seeing people answer this with their own, and we made it anonymous surveys for the purpose of people being as honest as possible. And the amount of people that just persistently told us that they felt the information in the program itself was priceless was super cool on our end. Is there a TWC student in British Columbia, Canada? I know that there are practitioners. I don't believe that there is currently a certified trainer there, but we do have a practitioner. I believe he just got his PDC in PSA with his dog, which is actually one of our Ivan's dogs, which is cool. You run a successful dog rehabilitation business. You recently purchased Competition Healing. Now you need to keep pursuing TWC methods. That one video convinced you. This is leading edge stuff. Thank you. We're super, super glad that you enjoyed the videos. And like, if you enjoyed just the standard training lesson videos, we can assure you that the information in the course is 100 times more mind-blowing than any video that you can purchase currently on the course or on the TWC Academy. Anonymous. I'm working with ex-racing greyhounds in Ireland due to the thousands of them being killed because they are not fast enough or mild injuries. I try to find homes for all of them, but I have big difficulties. I would like to know if this training gives tools that can be applied to these dogs that have been previously trained to chase so they can be adopted to have another chance in life. These dogs have a lot of difficulties as well with playing. Most of them are not interested at all. That's probably a better question for Ivan to answer, so I'll turn it over to him.
Yeah, so dog training is a very broad and at the same time learning and understanding genetics, understanding emotions. It's not you know, everything comes together. So I will tell you something, another story. Maybe that can kind of give you some insight. Remember when I was telling you that all of a sudden I got invited all over the place to do all sorts of seminars. So I was in Switzerland, and I had to go for 2 days for 2 different seminars. One was for sport people, and another one was for military people doing like their patrol work and obedience stuff. And that was, again, that was like mid-90s or something. And somebody approached me from another person from the military, and they were like, would you mind staying a week longer and making something for the detection units? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then it kind of hit me. I'm like, I have not trained a detection dog in my life. What the hell I'm agreeing to do? Like, I'm just gonna embarrass myself. Like but it was too late. And so I'm like, okay, I have no idea what that's gonna be like. And most likely I'm just gonna try to give them any insight that I can and apologize that I didn't deliver what they were expecting, you know? I didn't even know where to start the workshop or the seminar. I had no idea what to do. Like detection work at that moment, at that time in my life was unknown waters, you know? And what I did, I asked them to show me what they do. I asked them to just bring one dog at a time and do their little training so I can observe and hopefully I can pick on something. And meanwhile, they can give me some of their problems that they're facing. And that was it. It was as simple as that. I'm like, it was just so clearly obvious to me, the things that were going right, the things that were going wrong, and what we needed to change. So again, dogs are very, I mean, there's like a broad range of hounds and hunting bird dogs and sled dogs, and you guard dogs up in the mountains. They are all very different. They're selectively bred to do something very specific, but they are still genetically predispositioned to something. They still follow the same learning laws that every living thing on planet Earth follows. We're just programmed for that. Every single dog has motivation or doesn't have motivation. And part of the big picture of being a dog trainer is how to navigate in that place where you either have motivation or you don't have motivation, knowing can you create it, can you not create it. From there on, if there is desire, then the whole learning theory comes into place. Hopefully that helps you answer the question that any dog, any program, any type of interest of any of the dog fields, you will 100% benefit from the course. There is no question about that. Absolutely no question about that. I will tell you one thing though, from experience. A lot of times in the Zoom calls, we try to kind of put a hold on sometimes on a student because they focus so much on their personal dog and what they want to accomplish with that dog. That is a huge part of very important stuff that later on they can apply and benefit from, but they just don't see it at the moment. So if for those of you that will end up joining us, one of the things that I'm going to ask you is not to be having that tunnel vision and always thinking about your dog and your problem, because we're going to talk about a lot more. And all of that you will be able to bring in back, okay?
Cool. All right. So just real quick to answer, I scrolled through the questions and I want to answer some of the most commonly asked questions. So hopefully people don't feel the need to ask the same question as other people. So we offer the course 4 times a year. The next class that we're currently enrolling for starts on September 4th, but we will offer the course again. This is the last class for 2023, but we will have another class that begins in January of 2024. We have not had a concrete date to start yet, but it will happen in January 2024. The following class will be either late March, early April of 2024, and the class after that will be likely sometime in June of 2024. So just to give you guys an idea of how many times we do it, in case you're not able to sign up, but for sure want to sign up in the future and to allow you guys to plan for that. Those would be the classes. So September 4th is the next class that we're starting. And then after that, you would be looking at January 2024, March, April 2024, and June 2024 for the next classes. Jay, can you provide more details about the distribution of the course content between fundamental pet training and advanced sport training? So it is, the question is not a difficult one to answer, but just Ivan kind of went over it a little bit with this past answer. It's not the best approach to look at the course as whether it's talking about pet training or sport training or service dog training or explosive dog training or whatever it is, because the course is about understanding animal learning and providing you the tools necessary to understand how to teach all dogs in any type of training. So there is no distribution that's based more on pet training or based more on sport training. It's all about dog training. And if you can apply the concepts, you are able to teach dogs in any type of facet of dog training. Thank you, Ivan and TWC team. You're welcome. Currently train explosive and narcotic detection cases, always helper and assist in helper work on the weekends. A previous mentor has always taught me to put the dog in front of me foremost. How can the dogs I work with benefit from the course? Just so you kind of understand, we have had trainers that do explosive and narcotic detection, search and rescue, all take the course, and they have all had just amazing things to say about the course. So there are definitely things that would help you with your training. And like I said in the previous answer, this course covers all animal learning. So any situation that presents itself for you for explosive or narcotic detection, you'll be able to use the concepts to come up with a training plan to help you with any type of dog that you train, whether it's a different type of breed or different situation. As far as your searches go, you'll be able to apply the concepts no matter what. I don't know if Ivan wants to add a little bit onto this, but for sure it would benefit you.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, even just kind of reminds me of the call last night. We have actually two students right now that are deep into that kind of work, and we were troubleshooting some things. We had some very good conversations, but
Okay.
Clearly there is something about a niche and a specific training, and then there is the overall and learning. At this point, I feel really well-rounded of everything. So the simple answer is it will be very difficult for me to say that you will go through the course and you will go through a module and you will read the title and you say, oh, well, here we go. We're talking about the operant quadrants. You take away something, you whatever. And next thing you know, I will take you to a place that you haven't been. And I will open few doors for you that you never thought they even exist, like I promised you.
Very, very cool. Sabine, what ongoing support is available if I sign up for the $8,000 non-trainer option? I foster dogs regularly and want to make them as adoptable as possible. I've worked with Chris Valdez with 2 dogs and would love to keep learning. If you sign up for the practitioner course, there is ongoing support as you continue. So like I mentioned in the presentation, the TWC graduates group is open for you as long as you would like to be part of it. It involves, I mean, there's over 100 and something students in there now, and you're able to post any type of situation, any type of dog that you have in there, and you'll get advice and information not only from TWC certified trainers, but also Ivan, Natalia, myself, and all the practitioners that have taken the course along the way. So there's the support. That's one thing that really makes the TWC course special, is we provide ongoing support as time goes on. There's no time where it's like the course is done and we'll see you later, thank you so much. Like I said at the end of the presentation, once you start the course, you become part of our community, you become part of our family, and our goal is to help everyone with any questions they might have along the way. So there is no end of the TWC program. It continues on as long as you would like it to continue. I love that you offer the directory. Do you have to pay to stay on the directory, or are you forever on it once you've graduated? That's actually a really good question. There are renewal fees for the 2 programs. So for the professional trainers, there is a renewal fee of $297 per year. That gives you continued access to the course itself, the trainer directory, the invitation to the annual trainer summit, the Q&A archive, and all that stuff. So it's $297 per year. For practitioners, it's $197 per year renewal to continue access to the course, and for the TWC graduates group to continue access in there. How many students are accepted into the program? Shanna, we had a limit previously because we had a smaller building. So we had to kind of keep in mind how many students we were able to be fit in the building. We recently upgraded the building to a much larger building, as you guys have probably seen on Facebook or Instagram. And at the moment, we don't have any limit on the students that get accepted. If we start to reach that point, then we would implement that and make that limit public. But at the moment, we are not implementing any type of limit because we haven't been anywhere close of filling that building because it's a fairly large building. I've trained my own dogs for 30 years and want to start my own business, but haven't yet. Can I take the trainer course? The opportunities with the trainer course are far more comprehensive, or would you have to take the personal course, then pay another $10,000 for the trainer course? So I believe I answered that at the beginning. You can take the practitioner course and then upgrade once you have completed the course and have started your business. And just so everyone kind of has an understanding of what that would look like, once you complete it, we would need just information as far as your business being started goes. So articles of incorporation, social media accounts, some customer testimonials and stuff like that, just to make sure that you guys have started that business. Shanna, if I successfully complete the program, would I have the skills to train a medical alert service dog? So we don't want to get too deep in the weeds of saying that by completing the course, you'll be able to complete any type of thing. But what we can say is you would have the concepts and the support to start your training to achieve that goal. It's really impossible for us to guarantee that somebody would be able to train a medical alert service dog from beginning to end just by taking the course, because we just don't have a way to verify your training ability or any stuff like that. But what we can for sure say and guarantee is that you would have the concepts that would allow you to be able to complete that.
Yeah, you will get a better understanding of what it takes, including the selection of type of dogs, because it is a certain type of dogs and it's not a breed specific, but a temperament specific. And then, just like any other detection, you have to be able to do drills and so on. So there is quite a few pieces that need to come together. So this is kind of why Eric says that it's very difficult for us to foresee what the future brings for you before we know, even if, all the pieces can be put together for you.
Cool. And then again, Shanna, range of applications. I have a half coyote pup, also a German Shepherd, club level IGP, and a Caucasian Ovcharka. Would this program be ideal for all these breeds and goals? Yes, 100%. The course is not breed specific. It's not discipline specific. Everything you learn will be able to be applied to not only dogs, but any type of animal. Like, you would be amazed on how many TWC certified trainers have approached us after completing the course and told us that the course not only helped them with dog training, but also helped them with clients, because they're able to actually use the concepts of animal learning to communicate with their clients. So it's not even just dog specific. Although we are a dog training program, this will actually help you across the board, not only communicate with dogs, but also humans. If the person takes the certification course and later decides to go in the trainer direction, is this possible? Do you have to take both full courses? So short answer, yes, it is possible. And do you have to take both full courses? The courses are exactly the same for both practitioners and professionals. There is no difference. There's nothing held back. Both get the exact same program. The only difference between the two programs is that the professional trainers have the opportunity to become certified trainers by attending the TWC trainer weekend here in person. When is the next certification program after September? It's going to be in January 2024. You're in the UK. Is there an opportunity to travel for weekends, or is it for US students only? No. It's definitely a worldwide thing. We have students here every single time from all over the country, or all over the world, sorry. And like I said at the beginning, we have trainers on all 6 continents. So we have trainers from all over. People come from Australia, Singapore, I mean, just all of Germany, just from everywhere. Like we obviously would just love to have a trainer in every single country around the world, but there is no limit, and there's certainly no restriction for people to travel as international students for the trainer weekend. Next certification after January 2024. Key differences between the practitioner and professional course. So I just mentioned the only difference is that practitioners are not able to have that opportunity to attend the TWC trainer weekend. That is reserved only for the professional trainers. Non-professionals don't get the summit or any certification exam then. Yes, that's correct. Which do I apply for if the intent is to create a dog training business after taking the certification?
Eric, let me just stop for a second. So yes, that is correct. Like you guys, if you are a practitioner, you're not going to be able to come to the summits or the certification weekends and so on. But there is some details in, like, for example, every module is divided on different lessons, and eventually to go from one module to the next, you do have to pass a quiz test and go through all the Zoom calls that everybody does, practitioners, certified trainers, it doesn't matter, professional or practitioner. And so you definitely will have plenty of opportunities to test your skills and knowledge as you're going on. I just wanted to make sure that that's clear.
Cool. And then Matt, which do I apply for if the intent is to create a dog training business after the certification course? You would apply for the practitioner course and then upgrade later on. Catherine, if you miss one of the 4 Zoom calls during the course, is it recorded for you to be able to watch? Yes, every single Zoom call is recorded, and we add them to the TWC Academy within 48 to 72 hours after the call. And then once again, the TWC certified trainers have an archive of every single Q&A calls that ever happens. So they are all recorded, and they're all available for you to watch 24/7 once they're posted. If you signed up for the practitioner course, how would you eventually become a trainer? Do you just have to pay the $2,000 difference to attend a live weekend, or do we have to start from the beginning? So yeah, you would just pay the upgrade fee, and then you would start. You wouldn't have to start from the beginning necessarily. We always encourage people that do upgrade to go through the course once again, but we have had people that just feel comfortable and they've kind of self-studied along the way, and they just come take the test and they pass and they're good to go. But that would essentially be the steps. Is you would enroll as a practitioner, take the course, do the upgrade fee to attend the live weekend, and then you'd either be able to join the next class, or you can just, if you self-studied, be able to attend the next upcoming weekend. So it would just be up to you. How much time per week is the coursework? Is the only in-person part of the training the summit that happens in December? So the per week, I don't like to give people an idea of how long per week. What I like to tell people is that if they can dedicate about 30 to 45 minutes per day, they are able to easily complete the coursework. Now, that being said, the more time you spend on it, the more time you review, the more time you really get in deep and understand it, the better you're going to do as you go along. So that goes along with anything. The more time you spend with it, the better you're going to understand it. But at a minimum, I would say about 30 to 45 minutes per day, if you can spend that. All the lessons in the modules are broken up into digestible chunks for you to be able to kind of sit down and watch them. Some are as short as like 7 minutes and some are as long as 45 minutes. But they're not like, 4-hour epic lectures for for you to have to break up. We tried to make them as digestible as possible, just because we know that a lot of people who do this have jobs or they're professional dog trainers, and we wanted to give them the opportunity to watch lessons on their own time.
And I'll chip in a little. And like the way we created the course, it's very, I mean, we obviously love it, but because you haven't had an opportunity to see what it looks like, it's not just me like right now talking to you and being like dry stuff. Like every lecture, every module has its own flavor. Most of it is filmed in a group, in a class environment where we're going back and forth. You're really feeling like you're sitting in a class with us, conversing and thinking and listening. So it's not a boring online kind of course. That was something that we tried to avoid.
Yeah, and if anybody has had a chance to watch the Make Your Dog Somebody Introduction to Training Without Conflict course on the TWC Academy, it's very similar to that, where you have this immersive experience of being actually in the room and hearing everybody talk and hearing the students and the feedback and back and forth with questions. That's very similar to how the course is structured. What is the duration of the course? That's also a very good question. So the way that the course is structured is, once you start your class, we release a module every Monday and every Thursday. So the course takes about 9 weeks to complete, and you receive the module, like I said, every Monday and Thursday, 2 modules per week. There are 18 modules, so it takes 9 weeks. There's usually a week and break in between. And then we have the trainer weekend here in person. During that time, there are 4 live Q&As. We try to make them typically every other weekend throughout the course. That's essentially how the course is structured.
I just want to say something to this one. I mean, that's how it's structured. But once you become a certified trainer, that's not it. Like, learning just never stops. I mean, Ivan is adding more modules, I mean, constantly adding something. We have Zoom calls, we have meetings. There's just learning just never stops. So it's like a lifetime experience.
Yeah, for sure. Like the course itself is the 18 modules, but those 18 modules are not like frozen in stone and never going to change. Like, they are changed all the time. I mean, we actually, after the initial course, went in, and after Ivan learned some new information, and there's a slide in the one of the first few modules in the course, and there's a story that Ivan likes to tell. I believe it's Einstein, where he presented a test to a student one year, and then the following year presented the exact same test. And the student approached him and was like, "Hey, this is the exact same test." And Einstein was like, "Yeah, but the answers have changed." So we actually recorded the live course. And then once that happened, Ivan actually learned some new information through his research, and we went in and completely revamped and changed an entire module. So you guys will never, ever be behind or not have information that is presently available out there. We pride ourselves on providing the most up-to-date information that's helpful for trainers. Mohammed, all you have spoken about is investment based on USA. What about people who want to work in Europe? For my case, Finland. May my name be on your trainer list for Finnish people too? Yeah, 100%. We have trainers that are certified all over the world. Like, if you go to the trainer directory, you're not just going to see people in the US. We have people in Australia, Singapore, a bunch of countries in Europe, I believe Germany, the UK. We just got our first trainer. So Canada, of course, we have a trainer in Panama. We have trainers all over the world. So you're certainly able to be a trainer in Finland. We actually have somebody in Finland that's currently taking the course. Alvin, when is the next training after September? January 2024. Aside from business-oriented lessons, are there differences between the modules from professional to practitioners, or are the modules the same? Yes, they are exactly the same. No, there's absolutely no difference whatsoever in the two programs as far as the lessons in the course. Charlotte, what does the practical portion of the exam consist of? So there is no concrete practical exam that we just give everyone. The practical exam is based on how you were able to complete the final written exam. So if there were any deficiencies on your final written exam, we provide you with a task that would kind of allow you to explore the deficiencies to kind of give you the opportunity to learn a little bit more. So you can use that practical portion to kind of fill the gaps on where you might have fell a little bit short, but still were able to pass that final exam. So it's kind of catered to each trainer. So there's no concrete practical, but it's catered to each person. And I believe another person asked if that practical happens during the trainer weekend. No, the trainer weekend itself is just for the final written exam. Once you take that final written exam, then you would go home, Ivan grades the exam, and then we provide you with the tasks for the practical. Once you are home, you can use client dogs when you go home. You do not have to complete that practical in person. We evaluate it through video. Do you accept students who have previously certified with other programs? Are there certain prior certifications with other programs that would bar a student from attending TWC? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There was nothing that would bar a student from attending. We have students that have done all of the peer positive stuff, any of the other, whether it's Michael Ellis or the other trainer programs that are out there, or there's just several that are out there. It's really not up to us where people learned before. Our goal is to just have people learn as much as they can from us. So there's absolutely nothing. And there's Ivan just made a post recently on his Facebook about a trainer that messaged him that was a peer positive trainer that was kind of shunned and barred from their community because they decided to learn from Ivan. So that's obviously not something that we do, and something that I guess makes us different from other programs is that we are open to everyone, and we want to make sure everybody has the information. And Ivan has also said many times, if you are from another school of training and you take the course and you decide you don't want to use the information, it's also up to you. Like, there is no need for you to take the course and say, I have to do it this way. We keep TWC as open as possible and hope that people use all of the concept that they learn, but it's always up to the individual on how they want to approach that. Dwayne Cable, he was in North Carolina with us. It's good to see him on the call. Once you become a certified trainer, are you provided with take-home packets for our clients? No, we don't really get into the client stuff with the business stuff. However, you are provided with the opportunity to talk with other certified trainers who also have businesses. So if you were to have a working relationship with another TWC certified trainers, I am certain that everyone is so helpful in the community. And I would be like, not only would it be a great discussion in our certified trainer group to see what people kind of offer as take home packets, but also you would have a flood of people that would be offering to help you with that if that was a question that was on your mind. Yeah, pause for a second to add something here. Also, as far as clients, and that got mentioned a little bit, but it's worth it to bring it back again. After you go through the course, you will absolutely change the way you talk. You will feel very much more comfortable. You will stop using just talking salad and using these cliche words of relationship and reactivity and engagement. Or if you end up using them, they will come in the right place for the right reasons. So you definitely, because you will understand dogs in a different level,
you will be able to talk to your clients in a much more honest and like you will have very, very different conversations with them. This is something that every single trainer that has gone through the course has messaged me later on at one point or another to tell me how their ability to talk and explain to a client is just dramatically changed after completing the course.
For sure, for sure. Ariel, how much different is the TWC professional course in comparison to the courses that are uploaded on the TWC website? I asked because I have bought several of those courses. So with the exception of the Make Your Dog Somebody course, the professional course or the practitioner course is completely different. So for the most part, a lot of the training lessons are Ivan speaking and presenting his ideas and providing videos and stuff to help you along the way in a step-by-step fashion. This is more of an immersive experience where you literally feel like you're in the classroom and Ivan is teaching, but you're getting feedback and discussion and Q&As, and then also able to participate in a Q&A fashion with Ivan throughout the course. So it's very, very different. But the information, if you like it from the general videos, I absolutely guarantee that you will love the certification program.
And now chip in also here, what actually happens after we go over certain modules, then we not just recommend, but we insist that the students go back and watch, for example, possession games or any of the videos that you're thinking of. Because now, after going through the course or going through certain modules of the course, you will be able to watch them and get a very new information out of the very same video that you probably watched 20 times already. That's kind of what the course do. And that's why it's so long, and that's why it takes some time. A video is an hour or 2 hours long. I tell you what's going on, but I cannot really start pinpointing and give you all the varieties of options and you realizing and understanding. So that happens quite a few times during the course as we're going, and we reach a certain point that I feel that now is a moment that you need to revisit certain videos. Then it's very interesting. I have a lot of fun with that actually. After, it's almost like for those of you that play games, you know, Xbox or whatever, it's kind of like opening a secret cheat code or something, and all of a sudden you're in a different place as you've watched it so many times.
Okay, Anonymous, sorry if this is answered somewhere else, but does your dog get to attend the workshop as well for hands-on work, or is it just demos for the human only? So you are able to attend the trainer weekend with a dog. We don't like tell people that they're not allowed to attend with a dog, but you should not approach the trainer weekend as an opportunity to train your own dog. There have been opportunities in the past where it is a benefit to the entire class to be able to assist someone with something with their dog. We kind of discussed that before the trainer weekend, and they're encouraged to bring their dog for that purpose. But it's not necessarily, that's not what the weekend is for people to do hands-on work with their personal dog. We do provide hands-on work, whether it's our dogs here, or sometimes we've had rescues bring dogs from their kennels and we help them with that. Like I said, each trainer weekend is different. So it's not a hard no that people don't get hands-on work with their personal dog, but it's just not necessarily what we seek to do during that trainer weekend. Okay, can we zoom in on the negative punishment demystified? Such an important topic for succeeding. Yeah, it is 100% very, very important. And we guarantee that you will love that module in the course. It's every single module in the course is just so in depth and comprehensive that it's very difficult for you to ever have a misunderstanding on any of the quadrants in operant conditioning. As you guys saw in the testimonial, Amir said that the module 10 and module 11 were the ones that just like opened his eyes and were super mind-blowing. That's actually one of them is the negative punishment demystified module. And the reason for that is it's a very misunderstood topic. And the way that Ivan explains it, it just clears it up to such a level that it's like an emotional experience for people once they have that light bulb turn on. Arturo, hi. Hi. Is there a way to pay via PayPal in order to use their pay in 4 feature? Yeah. We take PayPal. There's absolutely no problem with PayPal. We accept payments through Stripe, PayPal, and also we give the opportunity to be able to wire transfer, which is something that a lot of the European countries like to do because there's just fees. So we provide as many opportunities as we're able to for payment, and PayPal is definitely one of them. How often do you offer the practitioner course? We offer the certification program 4 times per year. So like I said before, the next course after September is going to be in January, followed by March or April, and then followed by June of 2024. Arturo, I'm from Mexico. Do I have to be from the States to take the certification, or can I do it from here? So you can take the course from Mexico. There's absolutely no problem. For the most part, it's internet based. So you would be able to complete the course entirely from home and also attend the Zoom calls and stuff like that. The only thing that you would have to be in the States for is to take that final exam. Is there a place where students typically stay, and do you know what the cost is? We go over that once students are enrolled. We provide a packet and a brochure on different things on where to fly into, rental cars, restaurants, all that stuff. We provide that for students once they're enrolled. I don't want to get into hotel talk during this call. What are the dates for spring enrollment? Roughly, it's going to be April or March of 2024 for spring next year. The overview on service dogs can be developed afterwards in later courses. Okay, thank you. Yes, you're welcome. Do we get handling instructions with actual dogs with Ivan? If so, how many hours? So the entire course is essentially handling instruction. I mean, it's hard to put an hour mark on handling instruction, because the entire course is based on how to approach, how to handle, how to deal with any issues that may arise from dog training. So it's a very difficult question for me to answer how many hours, because the entire course is essentially about that. If you're speaking about hands-on training, that is handled mostly during that TWC trainer weekend. The average salary for a TWC certified trainer. That's an impossible question for us to answer. Number one, because we don't really ask people how much money they make. And every market is different, especially in different countries. So it would just be very difficult for us to provide an average salary for a TWC certified trainer. However, if you were here during the presentation, 80% of our trainers are so busy that they can't even handle the workload that is coming into them, and they have to refer other people out. And that is another big benefit of the trainer directory, is you no longer have to take a chance on some trainer that you've never really met, that somebody through another person that met somebody is referring to you in some town that you've never been to. You actually know that you're referring to somebody that has learned the exact same things as you and completed the same process as you. So as far as the average salary, I'm not sure, but certified trainers are very busy for the most part, and so busy, in fact, that they're able to refer to other trainers. Is it possible to take the course online? I live in Norway and I don't have the opportunity to come to the USA. Yes, 100%. You are able to take the entire course online. How much previous experience is required? I have a tiny dog training business in a tiny country town in rural Australia, and I have been running for about 6 months. I asked this question because I would like to continue my work knowing that I can actually do what they need me to do, that I can actually help these dogs, but it would be a disaster for me if I paid for the professional course and couldn't complete it because of how short a time I've been training dogs. So Alex, that should not be a fear of yours. Previous experience is not required. Like, you don't have to be a trainer for 20 years to be able to succeed in the course. Actually, in many cases, having less experience is a benefit, because if you have been training for 20 years, a large portion of the course is spent in you trying to unlearn bad habits or bad information that you might have learned over the last however many years that you've been training. So the I don't even want to say the lack of experience, but not having previous experience or very little previous experience could actually be a really massive benefit to you, because you're essentially a clean slate that can start day one learning the information in the course. Can you please explain the logistics of how the course works? The length of time the enrollees are allowed to work through the course? Yeah, so I kind of went through the process of how the course is released, but the length of time that enrollees are allowed to go through the course. So I will touch on that. For professional trainers, you have 1 full year to complete the entire certification process. So what that would include is the certification program itself, the written exam, and the practical exam to become a certified trainer. You have 1 full year to complete that. For practitioners, you also have 1 full year of access to the course. However, at the end of that year, you are given the opportunity to renew for $197, and you continue to have access as long as you would like to be part of the community. Will there be future classes? Yes, 100%. Kevin. I already know Kevin's going to do the course. He's asked a lot of questions, so I know I'm going to see him eventually. Greetings from Bulgaria. How long does this course take? Roughly, to complete 1 class is about 9 weeks. I don't know how to say your name. Malgorzata Rak. I'm from France, and I would love to learn from a TWC certified trainer to train my own dog. I know that for the moment there is no trainer in France, but is there any list of trainers in Europe? Yes, if you go to the TWC trainer directory, you will be able to find any of the trainers in Europe. That would be the best way to go about it. I will also tell you that we currently next week have a trainer attending from France, and hopefully she passes, and then you have a certified trainer in France. I don't want to put any pressure on her specifically, but she is attending next week, and hopefully we'll have one in France sooner than later. Thomas, who is
Małgorzata, you must be Polish then. That's how you say it, Eric.
How is it?
Małgorzata.
I'll leave it up to you. Okay. So Thomas, who is one of our current students, before TWC, I felt hopeless and tired with dog training. So much information and everyone saying so many things. But after enrolling, I felt not only a relief and right understanding, but I'm happy and excited to wake up and train again. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. And that's actually a very common thing that a lot of trainers that have come through the course says. I actually have some videos filmed that are eventually going to come out of trainers giving information on how they feel after becoming certified trainers. And a lot of them have said that the dog training industry had kind of burnt them out a little bit on dog training, and they were just not motivated to get up, not motivated to train dogs, not motivated to talk to clients. And after finishing the course and learning to train dogs the way that Ivan describes it, they just had this newfound love for what they do. They wake up every day excited to learn. And, although that isn't necessarily the number one purpose why the course was made, it's a wonderful side effect of what you're able to learn through the course is if you feel like you're burnt out, to have that fire reignited, because as everyone knows, there's just something special about training dogs and having that feeling after a training session. Does TWC have a dog club for all fellow graduates that can participate and enter in-house competitions, focus on promoting and showcasing TWC magic? We don't at the moment, but that could be a really cool idea for the future. That might be something that we maybe add to an event in the future. That's actually not a really bad idea. I'll have to screenshot that and add it to one of our meetings. Videos are great, yet so much of training is real-time timing. Do you envision an on-site for the non-pro level? How would you imagine it be different from a pro level? So like I said before, we have top secret programs that we have not yet released to the public, but we have let our certified trainers know about. We're going to roll that stuff out eventually for everyone, but at the moment we'll just keep that top secret and keep you guys guessing and make this call mostly about the current certification program. Leslie, you have 1 year to complete the course. If you're a practitioner, you're able to continue renewing that as long as you would like. Jay, does training without conflict approach serve as a complete replacement for other training principles, or is it possible to incorporate it alongside other methods such as knee popo or force-free training? That might be a better question for Ivan to answer. My general answer when people ask me that specific question is that training without conflict is an understanding on animal learning. It gives you all the tools necessary to be able to approach any dog training concept or situation. How you would like to incorporate that in your training is really up to you. We don't really get involved in comparing ourselves to other schools or other types of methods.
Yeah, very, very true. And it's a good question, very, very good question. So if you know a little bit about me, I don't stay shy of saying how I feel about something. I'm quite opinionated, but if I give you my take, I will give you plenty of background why I think that way. And eventually, ultimately, it's going to be up to you to craft your own who you are as a dog trainer. There is a lot of stuff in positive reinforcement that works, and it works very well. And you know, like I have to tell you that if I am everything, all of my success would not be possible whatsoever if I wasn't a master of positive reinforcement. As far as Nepopo, as far as other, there is quite a few different flavors and different thought processes as how training goes. This is times where we talk about it, sometimes quite lengthily after certain modules. And, you know, what will end up happening is you will have a different take on what you know. And I try to stay away from too many analogies when I talk, but it seems like this is a good moment to throw one here. You can have a really, really good technician, electrician, like how I used to be. And you're super good with any kind of screwdriver, you know, flat, Phillips, like there is actually at least 20 different kinds. But sometimes the job calls for a wrench. And if you don't understand how to use it, you're handicapped. And this is a big problem with the force-free. Now, as far as Nepopo or any other training systems that also use aversive. Again, you most certainly will understand my take and my recommendations, what I feel is the best approach and the most ethical and the most dog-friendly, but as well as most effective. And then you will have the ammunition, hopefully, to make your own decision and navigate through all that clutter of various different systems and approaches and balance and non-balance and traditional and force-free and all positive and so on. Typically, we, as a training without conflict trainers, we try not to put ourselves in any of those little camps. That's kind of restricting ourselves. And so, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And a few other people kind of asked what the differences are between training without conflict and NEPOPO. Like I said before, and what Ivan kind of mentioned, we don't really get into the weeds on comparing ourselves to anybody else. We get into in the course, we provide our information. We certainly provide information about other types of training and how they would compare in certain situations. But as far as spending any time on this call to dive deep into what one person does and what another school does, is just really not the place for that. But I will say that, like Ivan just said, during the course, you're provided with all the information necessary, not only to train with the methods that he provides, but also to be able to look at methods of other types of schools or any schools of training and be able to kind of decode those and understand what you would want to use in your training.
And as far as can you mix and match, you can, of course you can. Sometimes mix and match will not work, but when you go through the course, you will know exactly what mix matching will work and what will not work. Because so some things are really just clashing. I said I'm not going to use any analogies, but you can try to mix oil and vinegar and you can keep shaking it, and the moment you leave it alone, it splits apart. And there is something about that with dog training. There is and I'm not referring, just so we're clear, to any kind of system right now. This is an overall statement. That you will be able to mix and match, because you will understand and you really will be able to add something more if you want to, or leave something away if you want to, that's for sure.
Very cool. Okay, let's go back. Jay, can you explain the process of maintaining certification for those who successfully complete the course? What steps are involved in the ongoing renewal process? For the most part, it's just a renewal based on us sending you the renewal link and you paying the renewal each year. It's not really like a lengthy process, or you're not required to take another exam. We've kind of talked about having some type of recertification every 5 years or something like that, but at the moment we have not really implemented anything like that. For the most part, the renewal process is just going to be that the payment of the yearly renewal fee, which is $297 for certified trainers and $197 for practitioners. Are there additional resources that would be included with the course, such as readings, researches? Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge. You're welcome. Yeah, so just to begin with the course, we provide you with 5 videos of pre-work. So you're provided with those from the get-go. You're also provided with 3 books that we would like people to read prior to starting the course. I'm not going to tell you what those books are on the call. I'm certain somebody will ask that question, but we'll save that for people who enroll in the course. But we provide you with that. And then the entire course itself is full of readings, researches that Ivan has done in the past. It's all cited. It's all available for you. So it's just endless, the amount of additional resources that you're provided. And you're also like, there are so many students that are so into research and stuff like that, and they're so helpful. If either Ivan or myself or someone else misses something, someone else will catch it and bring it to our attention. So I believe Ralph is on the call, and Ralph loves to dig up studies and research, and he's one of our certified trainers in California, and he does that stuff. So the amount of additional resources that you get in the course are just, I mean, I don't want to say endless, but there's a lot. How does the course accommodate the diverse needs of trainers ranging from beginners to those with a few decades of experience in terms of varying levels of expertise? So the course accommodates that by providing everyone with the same information to give everyone the opportunity to be the best trainer that they can be. Now, as far as time spent in training, there's obviously going to be a need for that regardless of what level of trainer you're at. If you have been training for 10 years but using concepts that were not necessarily optimal, you may be in the exact same place or a worse place than a beginner that's just learning to work with this new information. So the varying levels of expertise are going to happen regardless. Our goal is to provide everyone with the same information to give them the best ability to train any dog that they are approached with. How important is handler self-awareness in terms of how a handler's needs, drives, expectations, unconscious relationship patterns are transferred into the dogs? And is this something that's covered in the course? I'll let Ivan answer that.
Read that one more time because you said it so fast.
Sorry. How important is handler self-awareness in terms of how handlers' needs, drives, expectations, unconscious relationship patterns are transferred onto their dogs? And is there something that is covered on this in the course?
Yeah, that's a deep one. We certainly talk about kind of like I will tell you, just like with dogs and people, we have what I call a home base. And understanding who you are, understanding how you learn, understanding how, to maximize when you practice. And like Eric mentioned this, like a lot of times when you, just because you're going through the course and you're learning about dogs, then you're able to talk to clients, but you're also gonna start to kind of self-reflect and really, I like to believe that the course to some extent changes you in a good way of just becoming more aware of who you are and how you function. And ultimately it's up to you to, it's like that. This certainly can be a conversation that we can have in some of the Zoom calls, and but it's a very important. I think it's a very important, interesting part of the whole, being a dog trainer thing. Hopefully, I'm answering that well for you. It's a quite deep question.
Cool. Shanna, in the application, BC is not listed as a state province. I'm unable to submit. If you want, you can just choose a state that's in the United States, and I will understand that you're not living in the United States. That's a weird situation that happens with the platform that we use for the application. But just choose an American state, and it'll go through. So you can just do that. Jay, thank you for your answer about the compatibility of the training without conflict approach with other training principles. I'm a huge fan of your work. Eric, love your hoodie. Yeah. Thank you. Megan asked, hey guys, sorry I'm late. Will I be able to watch a replay on this? Yes, 100% you will be able to watch a replay. Once we finish the call, I will kind of digitize it and then make sure it gets uploaded. And ideally by tomorrow, it'll be available for everyone to watch. Okay. Let's see here. Jeremy, I currently do not hold any professional certifications. Do you have any other programs that you strongly recommend to begin a business and then attend the professional course? The best recommendation would be to attend as a practitioner and then begin your business and then be able to upgrade to that professional course. That's really the best thing. If you wanted to start at like a base level, then I would certainly recommend you check out the Make Your Dog Somebody course in the TWC Academy. That would be kind of the introduction into training without conflict. But as far as something that's going to help you with your business along the way, and then be able to be ready for that professional course, I would certainly encourage you to look into the practitioner certification. Katrina, is the annual trainer weekend in Florida for practitioners only? Yes. Or only is the annual trainers weekend in Florida also for practitioners or only for professionals? Yeah, it's only for the certified trainers. So the annual trainer summit is only for certified trainers, but we do have those 4 trainer weekends throughout the year for the professional trainers to be able to take their final exam. For practitioners, once again, they are offered the opportunity to have advanced access to any of our workshops. So we also give them the opportunity that way to be able to learn hands-on. Reagan, can you please outline more on the format of the course? Is it primarily video lectures or are there regular assignments, tests? What do the hands-on aspects look like aside from the final exam and trainer weekends? Yeah, so the course itself, like I previously mentioned, is 18 modules. They're released 2 per week for 9 weeks. There are quizzes at the end of each module. There's a few modules that don't have quizzes just because they're a little short and didn't necessarily require a quiz. But for the most part, there's quizzes at the end of each module for you to kind of test your knowledge. There's no regular assignments, but we do provide like a workbook for your own sake to kind of answer questions as you go along. The hands-on aspects throughout the course, there's not really any hands-on that we cover as you're going through the course. The hands-on stuff would kind of happen after the final exam once you start the practical exam.
We have a lot of, like, we don't have hands-on, but we have a lot of videos. I have a lot of case studies, if you want to call them that way. We have a lot of, examples in pretty much everywhere we go and everything we talk about that I collected over the years that are very valuable. So, yeah, the hands-on experience, it's a interesting one, difficult to really explain that way.
Carlos, how long do you have access to the course for practitioners? How long does it take to be complete on average? Do you offer information on starting a business? So you have access for 1 year as a practitioner, but you can renew that access as long as you would like year over year for $197 each year. How long does it take to complete on average? I'm not really sure. I've not really asked practitioners. For the most part, a lot of them complete it during the class. But once again, you do have access for that full year. So you're not like obligated to complete it within those 9 weeks. We do not currently offer any information on starting a business. That may be something that we offer in the future. But at the moment, we're just mostly concerned with providing the information in the course and providing people with dog training information and less about starting a business. But you are, once again, able to have access to that TWC graduates group, which is full of our certified trainers and other trainers that have businesses, and they're all super helpful. And if I'm able to answer any questions for you on that front, I'm also happy to help you in that group. I'm a dog trainer with a company and do some 121 sessions myself, but do not have a social media page. Would you take the professional course? I would apply, give information, as much information as you can about your business. Ideally, you have some sort of website or proof or testimonials from customers that would allow us to understand that you are in fact a professional trainer. But it wouldn't necessarily be like you don't have an Instagram page, so you're not going to get approved. That's definitely not what would happen, but just some level of proof that we know you have an operating dog trainer business, you would be able to apply for the professional course. In regards to the application, is the fee applied to tuition if accepted into the program? Why are applicants rejected? The fee is not applied to the tuition for the program. The $97 fee is primarily just applied for the application itself. As far as why applications are rejected, so a big piece of why we know that TWC is successful is because of the strength of our community. Now, when we first started, we really had no idea how this thing was going to grow and what it was going to become. But like Natalia mentioned during her explanation of the trainer weekends and the trainer summit, the community that we have is something special, not only to us, but to every single trainer. So any applications that are rejected are primarily just people that, for whatever reason on their application or in our research of their, whether it be their business or their social media or anything like that, that we just got some type of red flag that made us feel like they wouldn't necessarily be the best part of the community. That would essentially be why someone would get rejected. It doesn't happen often, but it has happened for sure. Julia, can you give an idea of the time involved for the practical? So for the most part, it just depends on the trainer. Somebody can take the practical, and if they're super skilled trainer, they can complete it in a week or two. Others, it might take them 3 weeks. A lot of it also is a variable on like the dog that you use for the practical. If the dog knows how to play day one, then you can kind of get going on the actual practical portion pretty quickly. But if the dog needs to also be taught how to play, it might take you 3 weeks or a month or 6 weeks or whatever to get through the entire practical process. So it just really depends on each situation and the task and stuff like that. So there's we for sure give you tasks that you're able to complete within the timeline for becoming a certified trainer within that year. Is the training without conflict practitioner certification online only, or do you have to meet up in person? It is online only. So the practitioner certification is exclusively online. Are there training opportunities in-house for practitioners? The practitioners are, once again, able to have advanced access to any of our future workshops. So that would be their in-house training opportunities. And like I said, we do have some top secret information that we're going to be letting our community know very soon here. Is the training work done at home when you or when you would travel to Florida? The practical is done at home. There is no real training evaluation as far as hands-on that's evaluated as far as a testing process during that trainer weekend. What would disqualify an applicant from being accepted into the trainer program? I just kind of went through that. I first met Ivan 20 years ago outside Washington, D.C. and have followed his philosophy ever since. I only train my own dogs. I'm actually raising one of Ivan's pups, Ice and Fauna. I actually have an Ice and Fauna puppy as well. She's super cool. My question is on schedule flexibility. I'm super busy with my construction business, but want to take my understanding of dogs to the next level. Can modules be completed on my schedule? Yes, 100%. That's actually why the course is presented in the way that it's presented. So a lot of people approach us and they say that they'd like to learn in person, or they'd like to have some in-person certification weekend to do the entire course. And if you ever have the opportunity to speak to our original group that came and did it in person, it was a very, very arduous experience to learn all of the information that you learn over 9 weeks in such a short amount of time. It was very, very difficult, not only for them, but just for everyone involved. So the reason that we created an online course that spread out over time is to give people to complete it on their own schedule. And like I said, you do have 1 full year to complete the course. And if you're a practitioner, you can continue to renew that. And I mean, you can take 5 years to complete the course and it wouldn't really be a problem as long as you continue renewing. Can dog owners who whose dogs don't engage in play also derive benefits from the TWC course, given that some of the course primarily focus on play-based concepts such as chase and catch and possession games? I'll let Ivan answer that one.
Okay, yeah. So clearly, looking at Natalia and my shirt, we are very big on play. But also clearly we understand that play is not always an option. We definitely cover all different ways to motivate a dog. You know, like it's about creating motivation. It's about like when you think about going as a kid to school, you always had a different specific class that you like to go to, and another one that you didn't, if you wish it didn't even exist, right? And so with dogs is the same. We take a very big care about finding out who that dog is, what that home base is, what the motivation is, and how we tailor a lesson plans for an individual dog so they stay engaged and they like to learn and they like to go on. So it's not like if play is not an option, we are definitely having other options, and that's the beauty. Just as I said, like with positive reinforcement trainers only, they would refuse, just their ideology will not allow them to put a prong collar on a dog. Some people can put a prong collar on a dog and do really dumb, stupid stuff. But you will have the ability to read the dog and look and find what can motivate that dog. And then, of course, we go in deeper waters where we try to figure ways how to entice a dog to like certain things. Just like us, sometimes, you know, you don't like certain food until it's made nice, until you understand the culture behind it and so on. And next thing you know, you become a fan of it. Some dogs may not play for many reasons, and we can manipulate that and we can make them really like it. So, but ultimately it's not a strictly play-based program. It's not strictly aversive or electric collar or force-free or whatever you want. It's really, you will have all options. And when you look at the dog, you will be able to go, okay, I'm gonna try this. And the moment that doesn't work, you will say, because that didn't work, I know that this and this will not work. I'm gonna go right here. And that's kind of what training without conflict will do for you.
Very cool. All right, so we'll go for like another 10 minutes or so. I feel like a lot of the questions that we're getting asked are some of the same questions, but I'll try to answer as much as we can in the next 10 minutes. And then if anybody has any remaining questions, you can feel free to email me. You guys got emails from us this entire period, and my email is listed in all of those emails. So feel free to email me if your question doesn't get approached. So Anonymous, I was 95% convinced anyway, but you've just sold it to me. See you in January. Cool. You're not going to be anonymous for very much longer. Matt, how many hours of recorded material are in the 18 modules total? When we first finished the course, it was about 47 hours of total material. It has grown significantly since then, so there's more. I just don't have a concrete number at the moment, but there is, I guarantee you there is like So somebody emailed me this question, but nobody's asked the question necessarily on the call. But somebody asked how much time is dedicated to behavior modification and behavioral cases like that, and that is actually the biggest module in the course, and it's around 12 hours just for that module. So just to give you guys an idea of how in depth it goes, it's deep, and there's a lot of information. And then the Zoom calls on their own are typically anywhere between 3 and 4 hours. So if you're worried about the amount of time and information and videos you'll have available, I can assure you that that will not be something that you feel like you've got shortchanged, because there's so much. Let's see. How can this course help those who are interested in protection sports such as PSA? So like we've kind of gone through in any of the other disciplines that people have kind of brought up, this is going to teach you how to train dogs in any type of discipline. So whether you do PSA, IGP, nose work, explosive detection, service dog work, anything like that, you're going to be able to use the concepts to help your dog. We have trainers that have been successful in PSA. We have trainers that have been successful in IGP. We have trainers that have been successful in detection work. We have trainers that have been successful in search and rescue. There's just like, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what you would personally need and what would personally help you. But I can assure you that regardless of what you're into and what type of discipline you're in dog training, you're going to be helped by the information in the course. Let's see here. See if I can find one that isn't. In your presentation, you mentioned about a top secret opportunity. Does that mean that they get more information about dog training than the professional certified trainers? It doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting more or less than anyone else. It just means that there are going to be future learning opportunities for both practitioners and certified trainers. So it's more information than is in the current course, but you have to have completed the current course to be offered the future opportunities. So like I said, those are top secret for the time being, but we will go ahead and release those once we have released them to our community. Sandy, I've been wanting to take this training since you started offering it. I'm a business owner and staffing is a huge issue. How long will I have to take to finish the exam? So you have 1 full year to complete the entire exam process. For the most part, we have not had a situation where somebody was not able to attend during that entire year due to issues. We give people that entire year to give them the opportunity to plan because we do understand that everyone is either a business owner or has some type of employment or life obligations that would may prevent them from coming to a certain trainer weekend. But we provide so many opportunities to give people as much opportunity to be able to attend throughout that 1 year. So you do have 1 full year to complete the exam process. Let's see here. Gabby, I don't remember where your question is, but you asked, when do trainer weekends typically happen throughout the year? So if the courses are January, March, April, June, and let's say August of next year, the trainer weekends are around the same month. So like if we start the course in January, you're going to have a trainer weekend in March, and then a trainer weekend in May or June, and then a trainer weekend in August. But we do give the actual dates prior on the start date of each class, so you have that information available. So we make sure that everybody has ample time to plan for those. Let's see here. Leslie, no question, just a big thank you. It was really helpful to have this information in Q&A. I met Ivan 18 years ago and will continue to follow him. And Natalia, I hope to see you in a certification course in the future. Very cool. I've spoken with a couple people who have attended your first 2 classes. How has the program changed and developed since those classes? I'm concerned there may be too much theory and not enough practical. Also, what happens if you fail your final exam? I heard there were those in the first few classes that didn't pass. Yeah. So it would be there, we start each class and tell people that if you take the final exam and you do not pass, you should not feel like it was some sort of shortcoming or failure on your part. It's a common thing that happens for people to fail their first exam. And a lot of that has to do with they're learning something that's absolutely brand new to them, radically different from everything they've ever heard about dog training in their entire life. And they're trying to learn it and put it into practice within a 9-week period. And sometimes that all gets very jumbled up in a very short amount of time. But that is actually why we provide 3 opportunities in that year to be able to pass that final exam, because we want to make sure that you guys get the opportunity to pass the final exam, to give you the best opportunity to become a certified trainer. Now, if you don't pass the final exam, what happens after is you actually get a scheduled feedback call where we go and we talk with you about your exam, tell you where your shortcomings were, what modules to kind of concentrate in. You get rolled over into the next class so you can follow along once again. There's just continued support throughout the entire period. And that's why I say that 85% of the trainers that go through the entire process of taking up to 3 chances and completing their practical, they become certified trainers. So as far as how it's changed since the beginning, there have been a ton of changes. When we first started, we didn't really know what the practical weekends were going to look like or the trainer weekends were going to look like. And we have kind of honed down on what the best practices are for those weekends as we go along. So there's definitely more practical information, not only in person involved in the trainer weekends, but like Ivan said, there's been a lot of videos that have been added to the course since the original course, showing hands-on videos of Ivan training dogs step by step, doing every little thing, whether it's training a sit or a down or a heel. It's in the course, using positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, all those things. It's been added to the course since we first started. So as far as the difference between the first 2 classes and the class now, it's certainly not like 100% difference, but there's probably been a significant, 60 to 70% difference added since then. How many attempts do you get at your practical exam? So we have not had a situation yet where someone went through so many opportunities or attempts on the practical exam that we just felt like it was not going to happen. Typically what happens is somebody will try to complete the practical exam and then they get their feedback from Ivan, and they're typically able to fix it on the second go around. So, I don't want to say that you only get 2, but we have yet to run into a situation where somebody isn't able to implement the feedback and then have a successful attempt the second time around. All right, I'll take 2 more questions. Let's see. Are graduates of the program allowed to instruct others, like fellow dog owners or aspiring dog trainers, in your training principles? Or should they be recommended to do the TWC certification? So if you take the course and become a certified trainer, you are able to use the TWC concept to train your personal business clients. As far as teaching other dog trainers, that is currently not an opportunity that is allowed, or aspiring trainers, that is currently not allowed as far as our current agreement with certified trainers. For those situations, we always encourage those trainers to take the full TWC course. And the reason for that is not just because we want people to just only take the course, but if you were to message one of our certified trainers, for the most part, it would be so difficult for them to condense everything that they learned from the course and convey it to someone else, that it would almost become cost prohibitive and would actually be a better method for you to learn by learning from the source itself. And there can be things that get lost in translation. So for the most part, it just comes down to I mean, most of our trainers just will tell people that the best place to learn this stuff is from Ivan directly. So at the moment, to answer your question, graduates or certified trainers are not able to teach other dog trainers, but they are able to teach dog owners if they are clients of their business. Okay, last one. Let's see here. Let's see. I want to make sure it's a good one. Can you do the certified course right away, or do you have to take the practitioner course first? No, you don't. It's not like a step-by-step thing. It's not like you have to do practitioner first and then professional. If you have an existing business, you can just go straight into the professional course and do the professional course certification and become a TWC certified trainer once you pass the final exams. And then I'll just do one more just because it's right above it. Are the tests after each module or one big test after completing the whole course? So there are quizzes each module, small quizzes, to test your knowledge for each module, but then you do get one big exam at the end of the course that kind of spans over all of the information in the course. All right, so there's definitely other questions here. Some of them are sort of related to questions that we already answered. This recording will be available within the next day or so. I'm going to get to work on it as soon as we get done with the class or with this call. So if you have any questions after watching the replay, please feel free to email me at eric@trainingwithoutconflict.com, ERICK@trainingwithoutconflict.com. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. If anybody is watching here and interested in applying after everything that you've heard, I will go back here and just give you the steps. So the investment is going to be $10,000 for the professional certification, $8,000 for the practitioner certification. The ways to apply, steps to apply is going to be to purchase the $97 TWC certification application, which is linked below here at www.trainingwithoutconflict.com/certification. Step 2 is going to be filling out and submitting the application. Step 3 is Ivan and the TWC team will review your application. And then step 4, I will contact you with the next steps. So again, we are really looking forward to this next upcoming class here in September, but I know people have to plan for the future, and we hope to meet every single one of you in the future. So thank you once again on my behalf for joining us for this call today. I'll let Ivan kind of sign off on his own, but for me, thank you guys so much for listening today.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, the same thing here, guys. Appreciate you came in. Obviously, you want to know more, so I don't know, I don't want to like get really deep into it, but obviously you're thinking about it. You're thinking, where are you today? How different are you from the rest? And you know, like we look at what goes on today, you know, people just like you have exact same access to YouTube and Instagram and basically the same information that you have, and there is not much of substance out there. There is not much advancement. You know, everyone pretty much rehashing the same worn out materials, the same worn out techniques. So that's not really how you stand out from the average trainer. What you need is a unique skill. It's something that's going to add value to your training. And I truly feel that that's what we can do. So hopefully we can see you in class. Thank you for joining.